Hello. Today I'm making this video because it's my dad's birthday, and so I probably will have to put this on YouTube and then I'll put it on the Facebook. But I wanted to make a video. Let's see, he was born in 1925, August 12th, but his birth certificate says August 11th, so he was born at home. So he might have been born like at night, and they just called it, um, August 12th. I don't know. My dad, he went by August 12th, but his birth certificate said August 11th. But so we all August 12th. That's what it is. So let's see, 1925. He'd be 95 years old today. Yeah, 95. So I could sit here and I could go over all of the achievements that my dad achieved, all of the things that he did, and it would take probably 10 videos, because these videos only have 15 minutes. They can only go like 15 minutes, and then if it goes over 15 minutes into 16 minutes, you can't download it on YouTube, and it's all a bunch of malarkey, so you try to do it in 15 minutes. But anyway, I'm not making this video to go over all of the things that my father achieved. I have those things, and if you're part of my family, you can contact me and ask me anytime, and I'll share I'll share all the things that I have and all the things that I know in family history with whoever has an interest in it. I have all the stuff. I have it all, and a lot of it is on USB, and a lot of it is on my website. There's things on my website, La Tribuna Christian Publishing 193.com, and so there's a lot of family history on there too. And I wrote a story that I wrote a book called the Olive Tree, and that's before my dad was born. But then there's a story in there after he was born. There's a story in the story. It's about my family that came over from Italy in 1910, and then it goes into when they came here, different stories that I heard, and then I made up stuff along the way, just because made up storyline and based on truth, and that's on the website too, and you can go on there and read it. And then my Uncle Pete's newspapers are on that website too. His newspapers from the 1940s, La Tribuna newspaper, which is in English and in Italian, and we found some of those newspapers through Harvard, and had them microfiche sent to Phoenix, and then me and my brother Kevin, we download them, and now those are on there, and you could access those on the website too, and see actual newspaper articles in English and Italian from the 1940s, early 1940s. Actually, it's 1941, before the start of World War II, and then after, so you can actually see the buildup of it, and then you can see after what was going on. So all that's on there too. But what I wanted to do is just to explain a little bit. My dad, he lived out like a Christ-like life for the most part. He didn't push the Bible on us, and I wish I did sit down with my father and read the Bible with him. I wish I did sit down and ask him questions about it. He was going to be a priest. He was actually going to be a priest, and then he got into politics, and then went that route as being a humanitarian, and he got involved with UNICO, which is an Italian-American organization. He started 11 chapters for mental health reform for the state of Connecticut, and but he lived it. He was an example. So like when you're trying to teach your children something, the best teaching comes from example, not by shoving things down their throat, telling them about the Word of God, and then and forcing them to do Bible studies, and then going out and going to the bar and drinking and doing all kinds of crap. But then on Sunday you sit down and you force it down their throat. That doesn't work. And the same thing like with nutrition. Very difficult. You have to eat right. They learn by seeing. Okay, they don't. It's very difficult to teach somebody something by jamming it down their throat. They learn by example. And so a lot of the things where I am and my personality and my core values come from the way that my mother and father, they lived their life and they treated us. My father was the type of guy where he'd get mad at you and yell at you, and then 5 minutes later he wants to bring you to go get ice cream. Italians have a saying, forget about it. We'll argue or we'll fight about something, and then the majority of us, hopefully, we don't hold grudges. We kind of take a step back, take a breath, and then we just kind of say, forget about it. Just forget about it. You have an argument with a friend or family member, and it gets heated, and then you come around and you're like, what's more important? The relationship or me being right? What's more important? The relationship with my wife, children, family members, or me being right all the time? So it's like, you get like in a debate or fight, and you're like, forget about it. And so that's kind of what my dad was. He was like a person that could get upset, but then 5 minutes later everything's cool and you move on with it. And he's the type of guy that would take his shirt off his back to help somebody. He was the type of father where he could work all day and then come home and do projects with me and my brother. Can you imagine working an 8-hour day? You want to come home, you just want to have dinner, you want to relax, but he had it in him to go and build go-karts. He had it in him to go and help build our train sets. We lived in Connecticut, Stamford, and it was a 2-story house, and the upstairs we didn't use. So one of the rooms was the train room. You got a big piece of plywood, and you put the trains on, and you drill from underneath, and you put all the lights and everything, and you have wiring, and it goes to a transformer, and everything lights up, and it's really cool, and building it is part of the fun. And so my dad would come home, and we'd be like, hey, Dad, can we build the train set? And he'd come home, and we'd build the train set. Hey, Dad, it'd be the spring, and everybody would build go-karts, literally from scratch. And, he'd be building go-karts, or we had a motorized go-kart, and we would go in to GE, and where we'd go, we'd ride it, and my dad would do it, or go to feed the ducks down by the Long Island Sound at the halfway house, or he wouldn't just come home and lay on the couch, he wouldn't do that. He would come home and he would be like focusing on his children, and then whatever projects we wanted to do, he would do it. I don't even have that ability. I get very impatient with my grandchildren, and it's something I'm working on, but I don't have the ability, if I'm, come home and I'm physically and mentally exhausted, to just find that energy to just, zoom, and he could do that, which is pretty much incredible. All the things that my father was involved with, and my mother, we go into my mom on her birthday. That's a whole nother story. My mom was probably one of the strongest women I've ever met in my life, with all the stuff that she went through. She had many operations. She would literally tell the nurses how to put the IV in. She would show them how to do it, because she had so many operations, and her veins were shot. So she would sit there and tell them how to do it. Can you imagine that? She broke her wrist while we were little. I mean, there's so much family history and so much we can learn from what they went through and how they handled it. And unfortunately, we live in a world where we live in a fast food world where things get old and they're thrown out the window. They're thrown in the garbage. Things are just, this is now, that was then, and just throw it all in the garbage. And the deal is that they left us a lot of life experiences, wisdom, life teachings, through me and my brother, once me and my brother go, it's gone. You're not going to even know. The stuff that I have here, it'll probably wind up in the garbage. And all of this stuff is rich with family history and life lessons that help the present and our future to be more tolerable. It just does. And all the stuff that I wrote and all the books that I wrote, all that stuff, it helps my children and grandchildren, our family, members of our family, in order to navigate through life a little bit easier through the trials and tribulations we went through. That's just a fact. That's a fact of life right there. Oh yeah, I got Kenneth the mouse. He wanted to come and make a video too.
Hi everybody. Hope all's well. Hey, happy birthday, Grandpa.
Yep, Kenneth. You remember Grandpa?
Well, I wasn't born yet, but I sure would have liked to meet him. He sounded like a great guy.
Yeah, he was cool. He's a good guy. Here, have fun. Anyway, where was I? And that's the deal. I mean, he walked it. He didn't just say it and then was somebody else. He actually walked it. He walked the walk. He cared about people. He took the time to help people. He gave his life. I mean, he dedicated his life to helping others. Even when he was in the home repair business, he would go out of his way to help others. Unfortunately, as me and my brother might have been looking on, go, Dad, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of July, and and you want to fix this over here that the woman's not paying for. At the time we couldn't see it. He was just trying to bless somebody. He was just trying to bless somebody, show the love of Christ. And we were just not ready to understand or comprehend that type of giving. We were like, thinking of ourselves. Hey, we want to get done. It's, it's retired. There's times I almost had a heat stroke on the roof. And, my dad wants to go the extra mile and do something nice for somebody. And that's the way we should be, not overlook things and go, well, I did my job and later. But he was always he always wanted to go that extra mile. And that's the kind of person he was. And he loved his family. He would do anything for his family. I thank God I have that core value. Thank God that my brother and I have that core value that we would do. We understand the importantness of doing whatever our family, helping our family when they're in need, and not be like these people. Well, pull your bootstraps up. How do you pull your bootstraps up if you don't have any boots? That's what Martin Luther King said. How are you going to pull your bootstraps up if you don't even have boots on? Pull your bootstraps up. Sometimes we need to help people put their shoes on, and then we show them how to pull their bootstraps up. It's like we're saying, you tell somebody to go, I'm starving. Well, here, go fishing. You tell them to go fishing without a fishing pole. Well, you can hand somebody a fishing pole, but you still got to teach them how to fish. So that's the whole deal. That's the whole going that extra mile in order to help people. And thank God, me and my brother have that core value too. We wouldn't have become chaplains. We have that embedded in us. So we have that wanting to reach out and help people core value. We have a family core value. We have an Italian heritage core value. We have a core value of love of country, because our family came over here not to turn America into Italy. They came over here to say, I'm an American citizen. So much so that they wouldn't speak Italian in front of the children, because they recognize they're no longer Italian citizens, they are American citizens. Yes, they still have their ethnicity, but they recognize the fact they're proud to be Americans, and they were here to contribute to America, not tear it down and try to make America into the country that they left, or try to degenerate it by saying, gimme, 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 my name is Jimmy, I want, my name is Tamant, if there was a name Tamant. Kenneth, is there a name Tamant?
I don't think so. Hello, everybody.
My Kenneth is a buddy. My Kenneth is a buddy. My Kenneth is a buddy, Anyway, that's about it for today. Happy birthday, Dad. I just, was debating whether to make this video, but I thought, why not? And so we'll see you soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.